I'm fully aware a lot of you probably won't give a shit about this, but if you don't give a shit about this, you're wrong, and I'm going to spend the rest of this video explaining why. Because the international break might seem like a dead zone. And you know what? Sometimes when it's Nations League and other bullshit like that going on, I agree with you. This international break is the gift that keeps on giving. And I thought, like a fool, that the only reason that was true is because there's a lot of World Cup qualifying drama going down. All the African groups finish. An entire round of Asian qualifying is happening in this international window alone. The European groups are starting to get really serious. This is like the middle third. You're going very quickly from, oh, we just started qualifying, this is fun, to, oh shit, we might not make it. But it turns out maybe the best match wasn't that wild Libya-Cape Verde showdown, but Bangladesh against Hong Kong in the backwater of this international break, which would be the Asian Cup qualification. Now, Asian Cup qualification is really for the pure of heart, because most of the I'm going to show you. Sorry, it's rather convoluted. I had to read it because they actually changed the rules for this time around. But basically, the teams that advance to the third round of Asian World Cup qualifying, they have already made it to the Asian Cup. These are all of the teams that ended up in those three big groups of six. This includes teams like China, right, that didn't particularly do very well once they got to that stage. But you know what? Dang it, they were there. Teams like Kyrgyzstan that also made that stage, they're already going to the Asian Cup. So now you've got essentially everybody that's left, and they get drawn into these really fun-looking groups, and if you happen to win your group, you get to go play in the Asian Cup. There's 6 of these bad boys, and this is just to round out the Asian Cup field and to give these teams basically some more matches. You've got a great group here: Philippines, Tajikistan, Timor-Leste, and the Maldives. I mean, bangers. Lebanon, Yemen, Brunei, and Bhutan. Bangers, right? Bhutan pulling a draw against Yemen. Who saw that coming? But then you've got this group: Hong Kong, Singapore, India, and Bangladesh. And this group has been full of nonsense from the very beginning, because there is one really serious truth about football in Asia, and that is every South Asian nation sucks. India has so many people that they can only suck so much. The same is not true for Pakistan, apparently 450 million or whatever it is. Pakistan's huge, right? Apparently 200, 300 million people, or however many people live in Pakistan, is not enough. 1.4 billion is. The problem is India started their qualifying with a draw against Bangladesh. And that's a stunner. You know something is changing, because the worst teams of South Asia were Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was widely considered the worst non-micronation in the world for a long time. Bangladesh was not far behind them. Honestly, Pakistan wasn't very far ahead of them. Even teams like Nepal seem to be able to play at a bit of a higher level. Teams like the Maldives seem to be able to play at a bit of a higher level, especially considering the fact that the Maldives in particular, despite being like tangentially South Asian, only has about 400,000 people. It's the size of Iceland. All right, it is not the same as these other nations that are competing there. But if Bangladesh is drawing India, we're looking at the start of something. And that something came to a head in Bangladesh versus Hong Kong, which is obviously an important match. If Hong Kong loses this match, Bangladesh is all of a sudden on 4 points. Hong Kong is on 4 points. Singapore is in the driver's seat on 5 points with a chance to get to the Asian Cup, which for literally any of these 4 nations would be a big deal. I think India went into this group expecting to be able to pull it off, but they've lost to Hong Kong and drawn Singapore and Bangladesh, so it's impossible to argue that they deserve it. But to the match at hand, Bangladesh against Hong Kong. It starts with a familiar face, a guy named Hamza Chowdhury. You probably heard of him before. He plays for Leicester City, right? This is a guy that has played in the Premier League. He pretty recently decided to represent Bangladesh, which I love. It's an awesome decision. Right? It's the sort of thing that actually Indian Brits that might be eligible to represent India, I don't believe have the ability to do. Because for the Indian national team, for example, you need to have just an Indian passport. You cannot have another one. I don't know if Bangladesh is the same way and Hamza's just decided to go in full on the Bangladeshi, but I wouldn't imagine he would do that because it would actively harm his career in England, which is a reason that other players have not chosen to play for South Asian nations in the past. And if that's the case, great move by Bangladesh to open up the possibility of dual citizenship representation, because they've now picked up the best player in this entire group, Hamza Chowdhury, who in the opening 13 minutes of this match produced this.
Hamza's goal, Jay Goller up at catching line.
And also soak in the noise there. Soak in that volume hit. This is a packed, big stadium in Bangladesh. The live stream of this match had 1.3 million views. The highlights of the match have 200,000 views in 10 hours. So it always is awesome to me when you see these types of events that get zero coverage in like your mainstream Western media, right? So many people care about this. This matters to so many people. The rise of Bangladesh from complete punching bag to a team that, I don't know, might be able to backdoor a shot at the Asian Cup. And now has the lead. Right at the moment Hamza Chowdhury scores this beautiful free kick, his first competitive goal for Bangladesh, by the way, Bangladesh is right there, 1 point off an Asian Cup qualification for, I'm sure, the first time. I mean, this is a team that has never done anything of note on a football pitch before. But you can feel almost the belief in the crowd. And then the match begins to unfold, and the drama is ridiculous. Hong Kong scores a first goal on a completely diabolical defensive mistake from Bangladesh. One of the guys, they're really defending hard on a set piece, tries to clear the header one way. There's some sort of collision. The ball goes the other way. It lands right at the feet of a Hong Kong player who just plays it into the back of the net. All of a sudden, it's 1-1. Hong Kong then scores a second goal and a beautiful through ball on the other side of halftime. And at this point, you are expecting Bangladesh to capitulate. And of course, it looks like they do, because they give up a third goal in the 75th minute. This is 3-1 to Hong Kong, the team that looks like they're the best team in this group. Hong Kong has always been a surprisingly competitive national team that has been to Asian Cups before. They've never really taken a giant scalp, at least in recent memory, but they are a well-run FA. They put they put technically proficient players on the field. They clearly have a tactical plan, right? They're a team that's able to go out there and execute in a way that Bangladesh simply hasn't been able to for the vast majority of its footballing history. But this is when the script flips basically entirely. Because Hong Kong, of course, is not that good. And their goalkeeper comes out to claim a ball and just fucking drops it. And a dude on Bangladesh gets on the end of it, plays it into the back of the net, and all of a sudden you've got the Bangladesh national team full of belief. Very similar to Cape Verde against Libya. After they get that second goal due to a goalkeeper error, all of a sudden the light bulb switches. It's on. And then Bangladesh starts to create a big chance or two. Big looping cross to the back post that just skips away from a guy that's there trying to find a way to use a body part to hit it towards the goal. And then in the 99th minute, which there were only 9 minutes of stoppage time here, in the 99th minute, right at the start of the 99th minute, Bangladesh wins a corner. They get all of this off of this pressure that they're putting on Hong Kong. Remember, if Bangladesh loses this match, the Asian Cup is virtually gone. It's so far away. If they can get a draw, that holds Hong Kong to within 3 points of them. Right? They would be on 5, Bangladesh would be on 2, and the dream is still there. And honestly, Bangladesh drawing 2 of its 3 matches in this group is a huge achievement. This is, as ridiculous as it might sound, like this is a huge step forward for Bangladesh. As somebody that prides myself on being an expert in shitty national teams, this is a step forward from complete shit to bad. That's a big step. I mean, that's real, because India's at bad. That's a really big step forward. And then they have their moment. And this is, I've rewatched this so many times. The call, everything about it. This is just a magic footballing moment that hooked tens of thousands of young Bangladeshis at least on the sport, I guarantee you. Listen to this.
6 minute. মোরসালিন এবং সেখান থেকে বাংলাদেশ সমতায় বাংলাদেশ বেঁচে থাকে।
In the scene, if you watch the extended highlights, obviously I can't show you more. The scenes in the stands are unbelievable. The players themselves are going crazy. The photographers are all around them. Right? I'll give you it one more time, but beautiful set piece play. A short corner flicked into the middle. The Hong Kong defense floats away. This one guy is waiting for it. It is a beautiful play.
6 minute. মোরসালিন এবং সেখান থেকে বাংলাদেশ সমতায় বাংলাদেশ বেঁচে থাকে।
I mean, that's it. This is the magic football moment in Bangladesh's history right now. This is the moment Bangladesh came back from down 2 goals against group-leading Hong Kong at home in front of a packed house and tied the damn match with a beautiful play. Everybody's going nuts. The announcer is going nuts. I don't know what he's saying, but I'm sure that whatever he's saying becomes lore in the heads of Bangladeshi sports fans, right? That, when you remember a great sporting moment, you often remember the call. And Kata Messi, right? That sort of thing. It's Super Mario for Germany, right? Like you just remember it. You just remember it. The only problem with this entire game is it wasn't over. As you probably noticed in the table, as you might have noticed by seeing the score, you know there is impending doom lurking here. Because with this goal and with a little extra, added on in the added time, we're going to play about 2 more minutes. And that's a problem. And this is going to be one of the most depressing things you've ever watched, is Bangladesh clearly, utterly desperate to get this ball clear, just can't. And on a muddy field, this wasn't a bad field, but it's definitely not a field where the ball bounces and moves a ton, right? It's muggy, it's swampy air, right? A ball in from Hong Kong, corralled, deflected, driven towards the goal, and into the back of the net. And I'm now going to let you listen to this, and it is going to make you sad.
China. Brilliant block. এবং অবিশ্বাস্য অবিশ্বাস্য অবিশ্বাস্য.
You hear somebody in the background of the broadcast. I don't know if it's a cameraman or if it's a journalist somewhere else in the press area audibly cursing. The stadium, which you just heard erupt like a proper football stadium, is as quiet as I've ever heard a stadium ever. And Hong Kong celebrates with what was, by the way, a pretty solid amount of traveling support. Shirtless dudes from Hong Kong that were going nuts the whole game. Full credit to them. And Hong Kong walks out of here with a win that very likely may send them to the Asian Cup. They're 2 points clear after the first round of matches. 3 more to go. And their one big contest looks like it's Singapore right now. Because Singapore's on 5 points, Hong Kong is on 7. Does that matter that much? I don't know. What does matter is that even though some of the quality of the play was quite bad, some of the quality of the play was quite good. And most importantly, entertaining. And what makes it so entertaining are the stakes. How much this matters for Bangladesh, how much it matters for Hong Kong. Even though both of these teams might never make it to a World Cup. Really just how awesome it is to watch these two teams brawl it out on a muggy night in Bangladesh to decide who might have a shot at going to the Asian Cup. And full credit to Hong Kong for surviving a match that it looked like they had completely bottled.